There we go, big one. Oh, there's one right there. Oh, it's a big one. There we go. That's what we're after right there, guys. That's a big one. Guys, I am hooked up with an absolute freak show, I think. This cast right here. Got him. Oh my gosh. These things pull so hard. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I am really excited for today's episode because I am out here on the banks of this lovely creek, and I'm out here with one goal in mind, and that is to locate and catch some spring run white bass. So every year in the early spring, these white bass will run up from the lake into these creeks to spawn. And the best time to catch them is actually before they start spawning, because whenever they are actually doing the deed, they're really hard to catch. They're not really thinking about eating lures, or thinking about making babies. So we're trying to get them early. I've been honestly kind of late to the game the last couple of years, and I just didn't want that to happen again this year. So we are testing our luck today. I feel like I'm early. I may not catch anything, but it's been a warm spring. It's not technically spring yet, but it's been warm recently, and I feel like the water temperatures are right. We've had some good warm rains, so those factors mixed together should equal some white bass running up into this creek. I've caught a lot here in the past, and I'm hopeful to find some big ones. So if we're lucky and they are in fact here, we should have no problem catching plenty to have for supper tonight. So that is the goal of today's episode, is to catch some white bass first, but then to also cook them up for a delicious meal. So I'm excited to get down the bank. I've got some new baits I'm gonna be trying out today from 6th Sense Fishing that I haven't really gotten to play around with a lot, but I've got one in particular here that I'll talk about in just a second that I think is going to absolutely destroy the white bass this spring, and honestly, hopefully today. So if y'all are excited for today's episode and y'all love white bass fishing and this time of year in general, do me a huge favor, hit the thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and let's start poking around up in this creek. Let's see if we can find some fish. Let's go. Okay, so let's talk about this lure that I'm going to try to catch these white bass on today. I've been wanting to throw it, just haven't really had an ideal situation for it, but I think this is it right here. This is the bait. This is the new Pecos underspin from 6th Sense Fishing. It was designed for crappie, but that is a multi-species catching machine of a lure if I've ever seen one. It's just an underspin. It's got a really unique head design. It's got a nice little Colorado blade, and it's got this really good looking, soft-bodied paddle tail swim bait. I like that it has a really small little tail. I think it'll kick a lot, and that is just in a pro shad color, just a general bait fish color. I love this color in all their swim baits, so I'm thinking that it should get the job done. I love throwing things that have some flash from targeting white bass, especially in this dingy water. You can see it's pretty muddy, so hopefully this guy will get the job done. It's an 1/8 of an ounce, which might be a little heavy for this creek because it is pretty shallow, but it should work out fine. And as always, I'm throwing it on the 6-foot 6-inch ACC Crappie Sticks 1-piece rod. It's a medium power, and I've got a 1000 sized Daiwa Regal that I've already gotten just absolutely muddy from laying it down in the mud. I shouldn't have done that, but it's spooled up with 10-pound braid, and then I'm running a leader. I have 8-pound fluorocarbon. I like to use 8 to 10-pound honestly when I'm in these creeks because there's a lot of wood cover, and I don't think the fish are line shy. If they're in here, they're gonna eat it. But anyways, guys, if y'all are interested in checking out the new lineup of crappie lures from 6th Sense Fishing, they've got several different options available. This is honestly my favorite they came out with, and I'm eager to see if we can catch some fish. So I'm actually going to start hiking up this way. There's a little bit of a shoal behind like some laydowns and beaver dams and stuff that I think that would be a good spot. So let's head up there. Let's make our first cast. Let's see if we can catch something. Oh, there's one. There we go. Wow, it is so shallow out there. Was not really expecting to get bit right there, but there we go, guys. First white bass of the day. Appears to be a small little male. Not quite the size we're looking to keep. Hoping to find some females or some bigger males up in here, but that is definitely a start. Now, I was just looking out here. I was like, there's no way there's a fish right there. It's so shallow, but sure enough, I mean, he's waking off going that way. Sure enough, he was there. I mean, I can literally like see the bottom. Oh gosh, oh my gosh. No, it came off. Oh, that was a big one. Okay, there are some in there. Wow. Okay. We gotta get back in there. Oh, there's one right there. Oh, it's a big one. There we go. That's what we're after right there, guys. That's a big one. That's a big one. That's a big fish. Stay on there. Stay on there. I gotta come down here to get this fish. Oh, I gotta come down here and land it. Come here. Yes, sir. There we go. There we go, guys. That is the fish that we came out here to catch today. That is a meaty white bass right there, guys. Beautiful fish, and you can see it's got that 6 cents Pecos underspin just gobbled up. That's just like the one we lost a little bit ago. We're gonna string this one up. It's actually a male. It's a big male. Oh, let's get him strung up. And let's me catch a couple more. There we go, big one. Big one, big one, big one, another big white bass. Oh my gosh, these things are fighting so hard. That's a good one right there, guys. That is a good one. Oh baby, oh baby. Get up here, that's a nice one. Yes sir, another big male. Woo. Heck yeah. I'm trying to find a spot where they're a little bit more concentrated, where I can just kind of sit and fish for a little bit. I've had to move up a couple of holes. Look at that right there, guys. Another big male white bass. I'm adding to the stringer with this other one, and I'm gonna tie him up down here and see if we can't catch a couple more out of this little hole. But I think, guys, I'm gonna go get my kayak. I think that's gonna be the deal. There's some backwater holes that I can't access from the bank, and I think that I could really find some fish holed up somewhere out here. Look at that, 2 really good looking white bass right there. Oh, there's one. Oh gosh, another big one right there at my feet. Another big one right at my feet. Gosh. Stay on there, big guy. I had about gave up on that cast. Look at that one. That's another solid, just quality white bass. That Pecos underspin right there in the corner of the mouth. That's a bad little bait right there for these white bass. Another big male. That's 3 good ones. That's 2 in this spot. And 2 of these 3 bit right at my feet. And I guess I've had 4 bites from big ones so far today. This is definitely the class of fish that we are after out here today. This looks like a promising little hole. It's not much of a spot, but could definitely be one. Looks a little bit deeper. Oh my gosh, there he was too. Oh man. Yanked it away from him. This cast right here. Got him. I told you. Big in. Big in. Big in. This might be our biggest one, guys. These fish are fighting so hard. They are supercharged right now, guys. Oh my gosh, he's just holding his head in the current right there. That's a good one. That is a good one. He is fighting so hard. I've caught a bunch of white bass on this rod, and these guys are fighting so hard today. Oh yeah. Pecos underspin. That's another good one. Oh, I'm not really sure about this right here, guys. This is pretty soft mud. But I have a good feeling there'll be a fish right here in this little riffle. Oh gosh. Probably not my smartest move. But we'll see if it pays off. Should be a bass right there. I told you guys, it was worth it. It was worth it. Every little shoal, there's a big white bass sitting there. Oh my gosh. I wish I could feel how hard this fish is fighting right now. there's just something about this time of year when they start running up in these creeks that they just get the biggest attitude. They are the strongest that they're gonna be, I feel like. Oh, baby. I think it might be our biggest too. Oh, baby. What's crazy is that these are just the big males, guys. That is another stud white bass. I mean, that's gonna be some fantastic eating. I think he stole my bait though. It's the only problem with this guy. That's where that super glue would come in handy. Stole my bait, but I'll happily take it. We walked out here on this muddy point. Got our shoes just soaked in mud, but we got ourselves a big white bass. I mean, that's a really good fish. My stringer is back over there. I'm gonna set this fish down just right here for a moment. I'm gonna grab me another plastic and see if maybe there's one more there. But just like that though, guys, I am down to 3 of these little paddle tails in this pack. I've got a lot more back at the house. Let's all having these stashed up right now. I've got some more plastics in my bag. I think I should have a different color in these. I think it'll also work. I got some curly tail grubs. This is awesome. I was really hoping to get on some white bass, and I am so glad that they are up in here today. I highly doubt there's gonna be another one right here, but you don't know unless you cast. Oh, there's one. Another smaller guy. If that was as big as we were catching them today, I'd keep him that size, but since we're catching these good ones, we're not even gonna worry about putting this guy on the stringer. Only keeping the big ones, the bigger ones. If we catch like a big fat female, we'll probably throw her back, but I think it's gonna be all males today. But I don't know for sure. I think if we were gonna catch a female, we would have already caught one. I saw him eat it. Saw him come up and get it. It's crazy, I can see him eat it in this dirty water. It's just so shallow that I'm able to see him flash on it. Another nice little guy. Don't bite my tail off. That's the only thing you gotta be careful with these little Pecos, little paddle tail swim baits, is that it has a tiny little paddle tail and it's very susceptible to getting bit off, especially by white bass. If you're fishing for crappie, it's not as big a deal. They're not gonna tear that up too quickly, but these more vicious fish, just gotta be careful, mindful of that tiny tail. But that tiny tail, it has a ton of action in the water. Another little guy. I ain't tying that drag up just a little bit. These little guys, they come right in. Those big ones, they do not mess around. Is he even hooked? Oh, he's peeing on me. No, nice little white bass. Okay, we didn't get any more bites upstream, and I know there are some more fish up there, but I reached as far as I could walk up that way without taking a kayak, which I'm still debating on. I'm catching plenty of fish from the bank right now, so we may just keep this a bank fishing mission. We're back here in this one hole where we caught a few fish earlier. We're gonna hit it and hit a couple other holes going back downstream. See if there's any fish hanging out down there. Maybe some fresh ones swimming up in here. There's oh, that was another decent one. I don't know if he was a bigger one or a medium one. I couldn't really tell. Lost him though. There we go, biggin. Oh, medium. It's medium. It's medium. I think there's plenty of these to go around out here. I think the big ones are just a little bit more far and few in between. But these guys definitely keep things interesting in the meantime. Guys, I am hooked up with an absolute freak show, I think. I casted down current, was pulling it back up to me, and I saw the weight come out, and he just obliterated that Pecos underspin. Honestly, really not any bigger than the other ones. I guess just because it was down current. It's a big one. Don't get me wrong, it's another big one. Oh, man. I like that these baits come with a little bit stouter hook for these fish, because otherwise I think this fish would have bent out, you know, a more light wire hook. That is another just really quality white bass. I mean, at least 2 pounds. I mean, these are really good fish. All right, guys, so as I have traveled downstream, kind of towards the main creek channel out towards the lake, I really haven't found any more bigger white bass. I've just mainly caught, you know, those smaller, like 10-inch males. Nothing too crazy. They seem to be pretty abundant, but it seems like all of the bigger fish are wanting to run way up the creek, which is to be expected. You know, the white bass are gonna run as far up as they possibly can. So I'm thinking if I brought my kayak, I could get up there to some more spots and maybe catch some more big ones. But I think just for the sake of time, I'm actually going to walk up a different section of this creek and see if I can find a few more big ones. I think there's definitely potential for that. We've had an amazing day. We've caught probably 30 white bass. I'm not sure if I've included them all in the video thus far, but you've seen all the big catches, and I honestly was not really expecting much of anything today. I'm just feeling super lucky to have gotten out here at the right day, getting them early. I think this is really only just the beginning. But before we head over to the other spot, let me show you guys what we've gotten so far today on the stringer. I mean, look at these fish, dude. Quality fish. I think I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 big, you know, like 2 to 2.5 pound sized white bass, which is definitely all that we need for dinner tonight. So I may or may not keep any more. We'll see just kind of what happens. But like I said, I'm going to hike back to another section of the creek, and we're going to try to find a few more big ones before the day is over. And then we will definitely come back out here again, you know, at a different date with the kayak and really explore this creek. But anyways, I'm thrilled with how it's turned out so far, but let's go find some more fish elsewhere. Okay, we are at our next spot here. Different section of the creek. Got ourselves another little spot here. It's got a little beaver dam with some water flowing over it. Looks just like the spots we were catching some fish earlier, so in theory, should be able to catch some more. Oh, I had one, dang it. Golly, he smoked it. It looked like a little one, but he smoked it. Oh, there we go. What the heck? Got him. There was a squirrel or something right behind me. Climbed up a tree. Sounded like the tree was breaking, but there we go. There are some fish over here. Another one of those smaller guys. Would love to find a couple more big ones before the day is over. I think we have plenty of time to do it. It just kind of depends if they are in this section of the creek or not. But I'll take that. Still a lot of fun to catch. We'll see ya. And this is the kind of spot right here where you could catch a bunch because it's a bigger area, a little bit deeper. So hopefully we can get some of that. Or another little one. Another little baby. This spot's got babies. Don't eat my tail. I always get worried they're gonna bite that tail off. Another little guy. Gotta respect it. The big one should be right up here in this riffle. Right there is where the big one should be at. There we go. A little bit better. He bumped it like a crappie. Knocked slack in it. No, nice little white bass. That's 3 in this new spot. Look at it, he's got some weird stuff going on, like he was trying to go through some logs or something. Well, I just had another one eat my tail off. We got 2 more of this color on us today. Hopefully it's enough to last. But I am completely okay with going through a pack of plastics if we're gonna catch the fish. Like, as long as I'm not just getting hung up and losing them all, that's the worst. But if I'm going through them because the fish are tearing them up, like, that ain't no problem. There's some places I fish, I go through a bunch of plastics, that's just because I'm getting hung up and losing them all. And that's not as fun. Fresh bait, we're gonna catch fresh fish. I better catch one right here on this cast. And it's gonna be a medium. Oh no, I lied, it's a big one. It's a big one. Might be a medium. I think it's a big one. It's a nice one. Just had to give him a fresh plastic. That's a big one. That is a big one. There are some big ones over here. Golly, he is mad. He is mad. Get up here. There we go. There we go, baby. That is definitely the kind of white bass that we are after out here on the creek. You know, we've got 6 good ones on there now. We're gonna make this 7, and I guess we'll probably maybe make our limit 10. I think the limit out here is 30. It might be 15, but I think it's 30, but we're only gonna keep 10 if we catch 10 big ones. But that's just another great fish. He smashed it. I was beginning to wonder if we were gonna catch any big ones in this spot just because we caught 6 or 7 small ones, but it's definitely a welcome sight. I'm excited. Let's get him on the stringer and let's get back out there so we can catch a couple more bigs. That is just too much fun. If you've never caught white bass run up in a creek, you need to try to find a creek this spring, get up in there and try to catch some, because these fish are just crazy. There's another little one. Man, they're just biting so hard. And these fish feel incredible on this rod, guys. This rod's a 6'6" medium, but it really fishes more like a medium light to me, almost like a light action, like a heavier powered light action. It's more than heavy duty enough to handle them, but you still get to experience the fun fight. Good little guy. Dang, getting stroked right there by little ones every cast. You know, if I personally was a white bass, I would be right there. There's a little cut in the bank. Got a stick. Oh gosh. Oh, I got bit. It's just a little tick, 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 tick. I don't even know if it's a white bass or not. What I'm saying is I'd be right there. That's a good looking spot. Oh, big one. Golly, that's a big one. Golly, it's another big one. He came up to the surface and smashed it. Look at that rod bend, guys. Oh, that's our guy right there. It's another big one. I think it's bigger than the last one. I saw that thing. Oh my gosh. These things pull so hard. I'm literally chasing this guy at the bank. Yeah, big one. Big old boy. I don't want to boat flip that one. There we go. There we go. Look how big and chunky that one is. Pierced that thing's lip with that Pancos underspin. That is awesome. Another just really solid, big, thick white bass. I feel like they look small on the camera, but I'm telling you guys, these are big guys. They're not the magnums, 3-pounders or nothing, but it's 1 3/4, 2 pounds, 2 1/4 pounds, somewhere in there, all day long. Perfect size. That's awesome. I'm fired up. Another little one. I can't believe I ain't caught a big one up that way. I feel like that up there by that beaver dam I would catch a big one, but I guess just little guys up there. I'm thinking about, I'm gonna move up, but I'm curious if there's gonna be any fish above that dam. I don't know if any big fish can actually go over it. I'm sure they can, because fish are pretty incredible creatures, capable of doing a whole lot. But it looks like a tight squeeze. Well, guys, we've pretty much traversed about as far upstream as we possibly can in this creek. And honestly, guys, the water is just about ran out on us. It's literally probably 10 inches deep right here. And you can see the creek is super narrow. You can almost jump across it. And I'm thinking that my hypothesis is correct about the beaver dam back there, you know, blocking the fish from coming further upstream. Now, if we get some rain, which we're supposed to have tonight, those fish can definitely travel up here and beyond. So I'm excited about that. The creek is honestly pretty low. I think we had a little bit more volume, we would catch more fish. So looking forward to some spring rains actually for once, so we can get back out here and catch some more white bass. But we've had an amazing day on foot out here today. Probably caught around 40 fish, honestly, and then we kept, I think we have 9. I think we have 9 on the stringer, and that's gonna be more than enough for me and Jay to have for dinner tonight. And we're gonna be preparing them in one of my favorite ways ever to cook fish, so I'm really excited about that. So I'm actually going to grab my gear, grab my fish, hike back to the truck, and get back to the house, get them cleaned up. So we will see you guys when we get there. All right, guys, we just got done cleaning up our fish. We are in the kitchen now. Take a look at all of these fillets. They turned out really, really nice. And we're in here trimming them up a little bit because we're gonna be cooking them in a way that I've been wanting to cook some fish in a long time. I just haven't really had the right species of fish to do this with. Normally we cook them with striped bass, white bass. I would say striped bass are the best for this dish, but white bass probably the second best, which is great. And tonight we're making poor man's lobster. So I've already got a few of these fish trimmed up. This is just pieces of the fillet, and I've got them trimmed in the kind of shape that you would get if you were to crack a crab leg and pull the meat out. That's kind of what I'm going with. If they were bigger striper, I might cube them up a little bit more. But the idea is we're going to take this meat and we're going to give it a bath in this pot here of crab boil. Well, actually, crawfish. Well, I guess it's crawfish, shrimp, and crab boil. This is the good stuff right here. And we're already almost boiling. I probably should turn that down just a little bit because I'm not exactly ready for it. And once you have it all trimmed up and ready, that doesn't take long to cook it. It's gonna be delicious, and I'm excited because this is one of my favorite things to eat. It literally tastes almost the exact same as crab meat or lobster meat, or even better. I don't know. Maybe I'm weird for saying that, but I just love it so much. It's one of my favorite ways to cook it. So let me show you guys how I'm trimming this up a little bit. So these white bass fillets, they're kind of weird. The striper the same way. They have this spot where they naturally split. And you could honestly just peel it apart if you want to, but we're just going to cut straight down that piece of fillet. We have the bottom parts of the fillets down there in the bowl also. I'm just really getting it all nice and trimmed up so it'll cook up well. And then we've got those pieces like that, and I'm just cutting them in half. And then there is our pieces of meat that we will be boiling up and then eventually dunking in some butter and just having a good time with. So we're going to get through all of these pieces of meat, and then we'll get to boiling them up. Okay guys, we are ready to do the deed. We've got our water boiling. We've also got some pasta going. I'm excited about that, but I'm mostly excited about these guys. We're just gonna dunk these boys in here. So in our pot, we've got this nice little wire basket. It's gonna kind of help keep everything together. But what's good about using these fish to boil is that they are a firm meat, so they don't just like flake apart all over the place. Like if you're trying to do this with crappie, which you probably could, they would just more than likely be a flaky mess. And you can see that adding these cold pieces of meat has kind of got our boil down, but let's bring this back to a rolling boil, let them cook for a minute, let them soak, and we'll be good. I'm trying to do as much as I can in one setting, but I think that's going to be it for now. Okay, we'll boil those up. We still got all of this. That pasta. It's going to be great all together. Alright guys, we did it. Look at this plate. Look at it. Feast your eyes on this delicious looking poor man's lobster that we made out of our white bass we caught on the creek today. We've got our white bass here. We've got our, I don't even know what this is, some like chicken flavored pasta. It's gonna be good. We can honestly probably just mix those two together and get something really delicious, but I want to dip it into the butter. We got our butter down there. There it is. Does that look like fish or does it look like crab meat? Looks like crab meat. Going in for the dunk. Hopefully I didn't hype this up too much. It should be good. It usually is. Mmm. Yeah, that's good. That's good, Sai. Hey, Sai. Mmm. That's delicious.
Say mmm. Mmm.
You tasting your fingers?
What are you doing,
What are you
Sai?
doing?
I eat.
You eating?
You eat?
This is a little spicy, but it's so good. I feel like y'all don't believe me. Y'all just need to go catch some white bass and cook them up this way for yourself and try it because it is so, so good. Originally we were going to have the slab queen who's behind the camera do the official taste test. Oh, Sai. What was I saying?
I thought I was gonna...
Oh yeah, that you were going to do the official taste test because this is one of your favorite things, but Jay the slab queen has not been feeling that good this week. She's had a rough pregnancy week. Is that how we can say that?
Yeah.
I've had a rough week and wasn't feeling like being videoed, so we understand that. We'll get the slab queen on the right side of this camera lens before no time because I know she's not going to want to miss out on this white bass run, which this has only been the beginning. Like I might have caught the first day of it for all I know. But anyways, we are going to sit down, enjoy some family time with Sai, the cowboy, and we're going to eat this amazing meal that we've got right here. Super easy to make. I mean, that's just easy chicken noodles, easy poor man's lobster, melt the butter, can't go wrong. But anyways guys, hopefully y'all enjoy the video. If y'all did, do me a huge favor, hit thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and we will see ya on the next one. Bye guys.